Alright, guys, this is part two. Yeah. I told you, there's a lot of people around the world. There's some people who might even like Lord of the Rings better than my Zane's book. I'm making a prediction. There's some fans, some of the Lord of the Rings fans might like my Lord of the Rings better than even Zanus. Even though I'm brag about Zanus, I say it's the best fast story ever told. Everyone, my book Zanus might not be for everyone. Some people might like Zanus Lord of the Rings, but yeah, I like Lord of the Rings better. It was more rich. It has much more richer world building. You know what I'm saying? Richer speech. Whereas Ivan's book is fucking amazing, but he's a little raw, obviously. Because I'm a little raw in some sections, obviously, but it's a masterpiece. In my opinion, Zanus is better than Lord of the Rings. I finished Lord of the Rings today. The book is good, obviously, but I told you the book is a drag to read, man. Sometimes you read it and it's a little boring. Whereas Zanus is not like that. Zanus is very fresh. Zanus is very fresh when you when you read it. It's refreshing. It's a refreshing book to read. When you read it, you're hooked. The characters jump on the page. You know what I'm saying? You're hooked. The characters jump on the page. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, when you read Lord of the Rings, the characters jump on the page, you're hooked. The characters jump on the page, you're hooked. You see what I'm saying? When the characters jump on the page, you're hooked. You're hooked. He says, whereas Lord of the Rings, you're hooked in some sections, but in some sections, it's a drag and you're bored when you read it. And all you Lord of the Rings nerds and Lord of the Rings, right? You know what I'm talking about, man. Yeah, we know what you're talking about. Yes, Lord of the Rings is a drag to get through sometimes. You see what I'm saying? It's a drag to get. It's a drag to get through when you read it. Lord of the Rings. You see what I'm saying? Lord of the Rings is a drag to get through when you read it. It's a real drag. Ivan, really? Yes, it's a drag to read, man. As I finished the series today, The Return of the King today. I read it. It was pretty interesting, but it was a little boring. You see what I'm saying? In some sections, because Jared Tolkien drags on describing everything: the lands, the sunset, the details of everything. Yeah, they can get. He dumps you with all these lands, all these. That's why it's very tough to follow Lord of the Rings. And it's very tough to grasp like 50% of Lord of the Rings on one read. No, man, to grasp like 40% of Lord of the Rings, you have to read it a couple times, like two, three, four times. Yeah, because I read Fellowship of the Ring like two and a half times pretty much. I now understand Fellowship of the Ring a bit better than before, obviously, because I read the whole book one on my channel, the entire book one I read on my channel, and yeah, I understand Fellowship of the Ring a bit better. But even then, it's tough to grasp Lord of the Rings. That's why I'm very, very shocked Peter Jackson pulled it off. Because it's a tough book to follow, man. A tough book to adapt. And Peter Jackson pulled it off, and Lord of the Rings was a masterpiece. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm going to tell him. Look, man, the magic you did for Lord of the Rings, I want you doing that magic for my movie. I want you doing that magic for my movie, too. For my Zane's movie. If he's chosen, I might choose Mel Gibson. If Peter Jackson chosen, I want you doing that magic that you did for Lord of the Rings 30 years ago. Who'll be like, Ivan, Ivan, it's been 30 years. Yeah, Peter, it's been 30 years since you worked on Lord of the Rings. Like, holy shit, Ivan, time flies by fast. I still remember working on Lord of the Rings like yesterday. Yeah, Peter Jackson, I believe, started pre-production like in 1998 or something like that for Lord of the Rings. 1999, around there, Peter Jackson started pre-production for Lord of the Rings, man. 1998 around there, yeah. So by the time I hired Peter Jackson, it's like 28 years ago. Holy shit! I can't believe it's been 28 years since I worked on Lord of the Rings. Yeah, it's been like 20 years. You know what I'm saying? It's been like 15 years since he worked on that. 12 years since he worked on The Hobbit. Crazy, huh? Yeah, man. It's been like 20 years since he worked on The Hobbit. Yeah. Holy shit! Even time flies by. Yeah, man. It's crazy. Yeah, I remember working on Lord of the Rings like 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Peter Jackson. Yeah, I was 40. I was like 38 years old. And now he's pushing 70. He's like 65, 66 years old. Yeah, it's crazy, man. How time flies by, man. Yeah, man. That's the amazing what? The amazing movie I'm gonna have. You know, kind of amazing Zane's movie I'm gonna make. You guys in the future, you know what I'm talking about. You know how good my Zane's movie are. We can see, yeah, you know how scary Airhead is. You know how I'm gonna like in the movie. You know how VG will look like. You know how top notch my movie will be, man. Looking at a masterpiece of a story. I'm gonna keep saying this, so man, Zane's will be close to Lord of the Rings, man. It'll be very, very close. Because Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece. It's a fucking amazing movie. It's a masterpiece. It'll be very, very close. Lord of the Rings and Zanus. And there's some fans out there who might even like Lord of the Rings better than Zanus. I'm gonna make a prediction. There's gonna be some fans out there who might like Lord of the Rings better than Zanus. I'm gonna keep saying that. I can't. I highly doubt it because I'm acting in the movie, man. Because I'm acting in the movie, it makes the movie that much better. If I'm acting in the movie will be that much better. If I act in the movie, you see what I'm saying? It'll make the movie that much better if I act in the movie. For Zanus, because you're looking at something cool. You look at something cool if I act in the movie. Yeah. You look at something cool if I act in the movie. Give me a second. I'm gonna get a drink of water. Yeah, guys. Sorry about that. I want to get a drink of water. Yeah, man. That's how top notch my what? My Zanus movie will be, man. Looking at an amazing story based off my famous fantasy novel. And Peter Jackson, Roma Gibson will be fighting for the role. They'll be competing for the role. They'll be competing for the role, obviously. They'll be competing for the role. They'll be competing for the role, Peter Jackson, all them. But high chance I'm telling you, some Lord of the Rings fans might like Lord of the Rings better than Zanus. I highly doubt it because I'm acting in the movie, obviously, and VJ is what? VJ is playing the role of Lithia. Because VJ is playing the role of Lithia, she's blue, obviously, she has a unique presence on screen, it'll make the movie that much better. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, so I'm willing to pay Peter Jackson $83 million, which is $103 million in New Zealand money. That's a good paycheck for him, and he gets his $2 million for the re-release. That's a good deal for him. I'll pay Mel Gibson $54 million. He gets his $2 million for the re-release too. But they don't get a dime for the posters because they're not featured on the posters. They're not my stars. They're my directors. Because Peter Jackson and them are directors, they're not going to be featured on the posters. Hence why I'm not giving them a piece of the royalties for the posters. But I'm only giving them a nice $2 million for each of the re-releases. Hence, Peter Jackson will be collecting nice royalty checks when I release, I don't know, 5 million New Zealand money. $2 million is like 4.85 million New Zealand money. So every time I re-release my Zanus movies, Peter Jackson gets his like $5 million check in his bank. It's a nice royalty check, man. You know what I'm saying? Hans Zimmer, I'll give him a royalty check for all my movies too. He gets two $50,000 royalty checks. Hans Zimmer. 250K is good for him. That's a good deal. Okay, Hans Zimmer, because you composed my soundtrack, Every time I re-release my movies in special edition, a new technology, Blu-ray, you get your $250,000 in your bank. A nice paycheck. That's 100 grand in your bank after taxes. That's a nice paycheck. If these people are greedy and they want like a million, my guys, if I give you $1,000,000 for the royalty checks, you rip me off. As for re-release, 1 million, you're being way too generous. They're not worth that. But pay them a nice royalty check, but don't be stupid. 250K is good enough for the actors, the composers, and directors, and all the directors. Peter Jackson's, because he's so big, I'm willing to pay him $2 million. Mel Gibson, I'll pay him $2 million, but all the other directors for like The Great Escape, I'll pay them $250K for the royalty checks because they're not that big. The Great Escape directors are not that big. They're only worth like 10, 12 million bucks. Those guys, you pay them $250,000 royalty check for the release. Whereas Peter Jackson and them, you pay them $2 million because they're really, really big. You see what I'm saying here? Pay Peter Jackson that money, that way you keep him happy. And you pay Mel Gibson his $54 million salary, that way you keep him happy too. You keep both those guys happy. You see what I'm saying? You keep both those guys happy. You keep both those guys happy. You see what I'm saying? You keep both those guys happy. You keep both those guys happy. You keep both those guys happy, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, that's my deal for Peter Jackson. I'll pay him $30,000 for the commercials. He'll do 2 commercials and he'll make his $6,000, Peter Jackson. I could pay the Zane's actors more, buddy, for the commercials because I'm not paying them for 2 years. I can pay them $20K per commercial if you want. Pay them 80 grand worth of money, $80,000. But it's gonna affect the budget a little bit if you do that though. Nah, 10 grand's good enough for the actors. You gotta watch for your budget, man. If I pay them 20 grand for a commercial, it's gonna cost me for 15, 12 actors. It's gonna cost me what? Like $1,000,000, man. You gotta watch for your budget. Whereas 20 grand, it cuts it in half to 400 grand in cost. I can afford 400 grand. Pay the 10 grand is good enough for the actors. That's good enough for the Zane's actors. That's nice pocket money for yourself. You can get yourself a nice phone. You know what I'm saying? You can pay for your phone bills, and it's nice pocket money for the actors. They can go to the bar at nighttime with each other. And it's a nice pocket money. You see what I'm saying? Right? The actors pretty much are what? The second year won't be a problem for the actors because the actors are all training in their hometown. So I'm not paying you anything, but you're training in your hometown. You get sponsored with your stuff, and I pay you your $20,000 worth of commercial money, which is nice pocket money. And the third year is the only year where you're away from home and your feeding and living is paid for, and you get your $20,000 for the commercials that year too. It's a good deal. Anything over 2 years, you have to pay the actors something. If I were to do a movie and the actors didn't get paid for more than 2 years, I would pay them something. I told you, if some of the Zane's actors need money, I'll pay them a bonus from their salary. If Avon Georgia needs money, I can pay him. Okay, I need some money. Okay, I can pay you $400K, $300K bonus. You get your 3.7 SR production. But Avon Georgia will be fine. He won't need the money. Guys, I'm only gonna pay you the money if you really, really need it. If you don't need it, I recommend you don't take the money. As chances are, if I pay you a bonus and you blow all your money, you might not work as hard when production starts. You see what I'm saying? That's why you're better off. You're better off getting your full money when production starts. That way, what? That way, you work harder. That check is motivation, and it'll force the actors to work harder. I know what I'm doing. Because all these actors in Hollywood are all rich. They all have 500 plus to like $1 million, $1.5 million, $2 million, $3 million, $10 million plus in the bank. Like guys like Andy Serkis, Idris Elba and Don Cheadle and all of them, they all have millions in the bank. They can easily last for 2 years. Oh, I'm good. I can easily last for 2 years. Yes. I can easily last for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Vaughn George and all of them probably have like 400, 500,000 plus in the bank. You know what I'm saying? John Boyega is worth like $6 million. He probably has a million, at least $1.5 million in the bank. They're all rich, man. They're rich people. You know what I'm saying? They all, I'm good. I can last for 2 years easily. But to keep them happy, you got to cover their feeding and their living. As long as you pay for their feeding, if you have them stay in a luxury hotel, you pay for their living, and you pay for their feeding, a nice buffet, and you give them like $20,000 worth of commercial money, they won't be angry. You see what I'm saying? Okay, how you guys want to make 20 grand for this year? I'll do 2 commercials. Oh, sure. 20 grand is a lot. Is nice pocket money for a celebrity. That's nice pocket money. Pocket money. It's nice. It's nice pocket money for a celebrity. You see what I'm saying here? Pocket money. Pocket money to do good things. You can go to the bar with that money, get yourself some nice clothes, some nice shoes, pay your phone bills. Yeah, it's a good deal. Yeah, man. Trust me, once you guys read my book, it's finally gonna hit your minds. Holy shit, Ivan wrote a masterpiece. This is better than even J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. Yes, man. It's better than J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. It's more interesting than J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings has richer worldbuilding, richer speech. I'm gonna keep saying that. When you read my book, you compare it to Lord of the Rings. Yeah, it's you see the clear difference. Lord of the Rings has more clear, has more what? Has more richer speech, richer dialogue. But Zayn's has the richer story. The story stands out more than Lord of the Rings. But Lord of the Rings has the richer world building, the richer speech. You know what I'm saying? It has the richer world building, the richer speech. Hence why what? Hence why what? Hence why what? Hence why hence why what? Zayn's will be a masterpiece, man. It'll be looking at an amazing story that I wrote, man. Really, Ivan? Yes, I wrote an amazing story. A fucking masterpiece. I wrote a masterpiece, guys. Really, Ivan? Yes, I wrote a masterpiece. A masterpiece of a story. Yeah, man. My book is so good that the Lord of the Rings Reddit fans are going to become crazier Last of Us fans once I read my book. All you fans on Fantasy Reddit, you guys know who you are. All you fans on Lord of the Rings Reddit, you guys who love Lord of the Rings, once you read my book, you're going to become a crazier Last of Us fan. You're going to become a crazier Last of Us fan. You're gonna what? You're gonna holy shit. Ivan's book is even better than even J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. Yeah, man. Peter Jackson will be shocked by my book. He'll be like, holy shit. Ivan's book is far more entertaining than fucking Lord of the Rings. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was a lot more hooked reading his book. Was Lord of the Rings, even though it's a masterpiece, man, it's a drag to read. Yeah. Peter Jackson obviously read the Lord of the Rings books. To adapt the movie, he had to have read the books, obviously. He'll be like, yeah, I read your book, man. Your book is even better than... He might not say that, obviously, because everyone respects J.R.R. Tolkien a lot. He says, but Peter Jackson told you, I read your book, man. You wrote a masterpiece, man. But he won't tell me it's better than Lord of the Rings. Because he has an ego, obviously, and what? And everyone thinks, like, J.R.R. Tolkien is what? Is like the god of fantasy. He's fucking amazing. Obviously. That's it, but... Peter Jackson, when he reads my book, he'll be like, holy shit, Ivan's book, I was far more entertained reading Ivan's book than I was reading Lord of the Rings. Zayn's is the kind of story you can reread over and over again. You'll never get tired of it. You can reread it over and over again. You'll never get tired of it. You're hooked all the time. The characters make you laugh. Whereas Lord of the Rings is not a book you can read over and over again. You can read it maybe 2, 3 times, 4 times. The only people who can read it over and over again are the book nerds. Chances are the book nerds have read Lord of the Rings maybe a couple times. 1, 2, 3, 4 times they've read the books. They've reread the books. Ivan, will you reread Lord of the Rings? I might. I might reread Lord of the Rings maybe, I don't know. After I finish filming Zanus, I might read Lord of the Rings. I might read Lord of the Rings. Obviously. Or I might read it the second year. The second year, every day I wake up in the morning, I read a good 10 pages of Lord of the Rings before I work out or something like that. I wake up at like 6, second year. I know what I'm saying. I read Lord of the Rings for a good 10 minutes. For a good like 20 minutes, I read 10 pages. If you read 10 pages a day in what? In like 6 months, you'll finish reading the 3 books. So I might reread the whole book in, I don't know, in the second year when I'm training. When I do the takeouts on practicing lines, I'm training. I might reread it to build excitement for what? I might do that. But how much times we read? I don't know. I might read Lord of the Rings maybe 3 times in my life, and that's it. And I probably won't read it again. I'm gonna keep it as a collection though. Because Lord of the Rings has a special place in my heart. See what I'm saying? You're gonna buy new editions? No, I'm not gonna buy new editions. It's a waste of money. All these book nerds, they waste their money. They buy. There's nothing wrong with having a collection, but they buy a bunch of different editions of Lord of the Rings. I'm not gonna do that. I have my collection here. That's good enough. I'm not gonna buy another edition of Lord of the Rings. I already have my own box set of Lord of the Rings that I bought like almost a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I bought. You see what I'm saying here? Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be very very strict, very very strict with myself. Obviously, I'm not gonna buy any editions. You're just wasting money. The chances are I won't read the other editions. That's why I'm not gonna buy another edition of Lord of the Rings because I'm only gonna read Lord of the Rings like I don't know 3 times in my life and that's it. Chances are I'll read, I don't know, second year when I start when I practice my lines every morning with my wife. I wake up at 6. I can read like 10 pages of Lord of the Rings in my nice terrace or in my condo. I read 10 pages. And once I read my 10 pages, I do my workout. I take my swim with VJ. You know what I'm saying? I take my swim with VJ. Obviously, we eat our breakfast and then we start practicing our lines for hours. Obviously, so I'll have a day to go. Okay, for me to finish Lord of the Rings, the whole series, I have to read 10 pages every day. Within 50 days, I'll finish. 53 days, I'll finish what? Within a month and a half, I'll finish Fellowship of the Ring, and in another month and a half, I'll finish Two Towers. Another month and a half, I'll finish Return of the King again. Finish it in like 5 months, 5.5 months, 6 months. I'll finish the whole series. Chances are I will read again. I want to reread again to build buzz for Zanus, and in my Astro Zanus story, I'll read before the movie gets released. So after I finish filming Zanus, when I go back to my condo, I'll reread my whole Astro Zanus story. Reread the whole thing to build excitement for the movie. Obviously, I'm gonna watch the Lord of the Rings documentary. I'm gonna watch the Lord of the Rings documentary to build excitement for the Zanus doc. I'm gonna watch the Hobbit documentary to build excitement for the Zanus doc. I'm gonna watch Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit to build excitement for Last of Zanus before the movie gets released. To build excitement. To build excitement. See what I'm saying? To build excitement. 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 Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do for my for yeah. I recommend VJ reads Lord of the Rings. I recommend, sweetie, you read Lord of the Rings. Read the book for yourself. You'll enjoy the book. It's an amazing story. Obviously, I don't think VJ's into fantasy books. VJ reads like self-help nonfiction books, which I'm not really into those books. I'm more into like the fantasy books. You know what I'm saying, I might check out Brandon Sanderson's Way of Kings. I might read that. It's a long book. It's like 1,000 pages. It's a long book. I might check out Brandon Sanderson's Way of Kings book. I might read maybe George R. R. Martin's Game of Thrones book. Or I haven't read Harry Potter. I might read her. I know VJ's read Harry Potter because she picked up The Cursed Child. So VJ has read Harry Potter. So I might even check out Twilight. I might read Twilight. The book Twilight. Nah, I'm not gonna read Twilight. I'm not gonna read Twilight, but like I might check out maybe Brandon Sanderson's Way of Kings. I might read that maybe perhaps. I'm not a book nerd though, guys. I'm not really a book nerd. I prefer movies over books, but like I once in a while I'll pick up books and read them. Guaranteed, a lot of the Lord of the Rings nerds around the world are gonna read Zanus before the movie gets released. They're gonna reread it. Okay, Zanus is gonna be released in a good like month, 2 months, 3 months. Let's reread Zanus. I'm gonna go on my porch, get take out my laptop or my hard copy of the book, and I'm gonna reread the whole Zanus book to build excitement for Ivan's movie. Yeah, I'm gonna watch the Lord of the Rings documentary to build excitement for Ivan Zanus documentary. I'm gonna watch what the Hobbit documentary to build excitement for what for Ivan's documentary. Yeah, man. You're gonna see all the fans around the world. Once you guys read my book, man, and the print arrives in your mail, you're all excited. Oh my god, the book's arrived. You're excited. You get the print arrived in your mail. Obviously, you get the book. You get the nice hard red cover. You know what I'm saying? You see the symbols of the trees and all stuff. Holy shit, this is a nice book. You know what I'm saying? The big red book and all that stuff. You know how in Lord of the Rings Tolkien talks about the big red book? Yeah, you have the big red book, the big red Zane's book. You know what I'm saying? You read it, you're like, holy shit. Let's see how good Ivan's book is. You guys buy the ebook, you read it on your iPad, your laptop, your phone. Let's see how good Ivan's book really is. Let's see how good this Ivan's been bragging for years, saying his book is better than Lord of the Rings, better than all the greats like George R. R. Martin, Brandon Sanderson, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? J.K. Rowling. You know what I'm saying? What? Patrick Rufus. Steven Erickson, Robert Jordan's World Times. Ivan thinks his book is better than all these fucking books, man. Ivan's so fucking cocky. Let's see if Ivan is what. Let's see how good Ivan's book really is. You know what I'm saying? And then what? And you read my book, you're like, holy shit, this book is a masterpiece. This is a fucking amazing story. You guys are gonna order your takeout while I read my book, man. You're gonna order your takeout while I read my book? Yeah. My book is so good that whenever my print arrives in the mail, I'm gonna walk to the store and get beer. I'm gonna go to the store and get like McDonald's or something like that. Get some nice McDonald's, some slices of pizza, some Subway. I'm gonna come to home and I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna sit down. I might sit outside on the porch and read my whole book. Yeah, sit outside on the porch and read my book, man. I binged the 3 volumes in like 3 days. I binged all of volume 1 in one day. In a good 4 or 5 hours, you can binge all of volume 1 in one day. The second day, I binged all of volume 2. The third day, I binged all of volume 3. I'm like, holy shit, my book is sick. I can't believe I wrote this. I wrote a masterpiece. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. My book is worth billions, guys. My book is worth like 50 billion bucks. It's worth a lot of money. My book. My book is worth a good like 50 billion bucks. It's worth a lot of money, guys. It's worth a lot of money, my book. You see what I'm saying? It is worth a lot of money, my Zane's book. It's worth a lot of money, man. It's a masterpiece that I wrote, man. It's worth a lot of money. You see what I'm saying? My book is worth a lot of money. It's worth a lot of money because I'm a son of God. I have the keys. At the same time, it's a $1 billion story. As someone who wasn't a son of God who wrote this book, they'd be a billionaire. They'd be bigger than even Stephen King and J.K. Rowling. The news of this book would travel worldwide. It'd go viral. And what? And that person, even if I traditionally publish, I'd be a billionaire. I'd make like, I don't know, $2 billion for myself. I'd be a billionaire. I'd be rich. You see what I'm saying? Because I have my own keys, I don't have to traditionally publish. I can self-publish it. I'll make more money. I'll make my 80% off ebook and print. Because Lulu only takes 20% of the profits. I did some research. They don't take 40, they take 20. I'm gonna make a lot of money off my book. Yeah, man. You make way more money off self-publishing than you do traditional publishing. The only thing better about traditional publishing, your book is more professional, and you get the public eye fame. You'll do book signing sessions. You know what I'm saying? You'll get invited to speak at places. Whereas self-publishing, you don't get invited to speak anywhere. The only thing you'll get is like the YouTube fame. You get interviewed on YouTube. That's it, which is still pretty cool. You get interviewed on YouTube, but you don't get the public eye fame when you self-publish, because it's like your own business, right? If you want to be on a Jimmy Fallon show, do all these book signing sessions, get interviewed by all these people, self-publishing is not the way to go. If you want to take that path, you have to traditionally publish. But traditionally publishing, your book looks more professional. You're famous in the public eye, but they only give you like 15%, 10, 5% of the pie. And then the companies take the rest of the money because they're greedy people. Whereas for self-publishing, you take the majority of the pie because you wrote it, You promote the book yourself. You did everything yourself, and you take most of the pie for self-publishing. That's why self-publishing is better. And if I have the keys, it's common sense. I have the keys. It's common sense. You don't traditionally publish. I don't need the what. I don't need the fucking publishing houses to open the door for me. I can open my own door. I have my own keys. Hence why it's common sense. I'm not selling. I'm not traditionally publishing. I'm self-publishing. See what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. Victoria Justice, I guarantee you. Victoria Justice, I guarantee you she will buy the ebook. Because she doesn't want to wait. Yeah, I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait 1 week or 2 weeks for my book. The whole world's ordering something crazy. I'll just buy the ebook and read it on my laptop. VJ was like, I just buy the ebook and read it on my laptop. I said, VJ purchased the ebook. She reads my whole book on her laptop. She orders food. She orders her Mexican rice, her sushi, you know what I'm saying, her what? Her tacos and all that stuff. And then she reads my book. Let's see how good Ivan's book really is. She reads my book. Holy shit, Ivan wrote a masterpiece. Ivan's book is fucking amazing. Yeah. Ivan wrote a masterpiece. Yeah, man, I wrote a masterpiece. Oh my god. You read volume 1, like, holy shit, this book is sick. And once you finish reading once you're like halfway through volume 1, you order your takeout because you're excited for what happens for the rest of the story. You keep reading and you're hooked. Holy shit, this book is sick. Ivan wrote a masterpiece. Yeah. I'm more hooked reading this than even Lord of the Rings. Yeah, man. Yeah. Shut my camera here.